morning. Welcome back to the Trailer Park. I am Chanda-Masta, and this is your midweek update or recap, whatever you want to call it. Did we launch on all? I think we launched on all. I don't know. Something seems kind of hanky, but whatever. We're just going to go with it this morning. How is everybody? I see everybody's pouring in. We got a huge deck. I know I say that. I got a 75 slide deck because there's just so much fucking bullshit to talk about. I sat here writing the show all day yesterday, and you guys know I'm always tuned into Jimmy. So I got Jimmy playing in the background, and I'm listening. I'm like, God damn it, Jimmy just did my whole show. So I had to get up early this morning and kind of add a little more, so I wasn't just doing the same show that you guys watched yesterday. But that's what happens when you're talking about current events, right? Everybody wants to talk about current events. What do you guys think of this thumbnail? This is a great card. Of course, Oz made that reface and sent it to me. Oz has been doing a lot of the refaces for my cards, and yeah, I got a little creative with it. Political storm ahead. We've been in a political storm for many years, but I'm afraid it's going to get much worse. That card's gonna have to stick around. I'm gonna have to stick it somewhere. I like that card. I have hundreds of cards, but not very many of them that I like. Oh, I want to use that card again. Good morning. Let me get the chat shouted out real fast as you guys come in. Lynn's here. Good morning, Lynn, over on the Rokfin with Jim and Fred. Who else is over there? I think that's it. I haven't looked. Where are we on Rokfin? We're close to 15,000 on Rokfin. We are at 14,989. So we only need 11 more followers on Rokfin to hit 15,000. That'll be cool. That will be super cool. But it makes me sad. Your mid-tone theme today so rocks. You look fabulous as usual. Thank you. Yes, I pre-show I was Pantera out. I kind of shared with you guys. I'm a huge Pantera fan. Rest in peace, Dimebag. Definitely pumps me up and gets me ready to go. We got Airwaves hanging out over on the Rumble, and the Kick is up and running. We've had viewers on Kick lately. That's amazing. And of course, all the X's. You can always find us at the Trailer Park or at the Land of Oz on X. And let's get the YouTube shouted out. Popeye's here. Hi, Popeye. Good morning. I see you guys just tweet or posting away over on the Discord. I love it. I know the Discord's effed up. I've been working on it. Every time I think it's fixed, it's not fixed. It keeps dumping the chat box. I disconnected the chat inside a Restream. Now I think I need to go inside a Discord and disconnect it. I'm learning. Bear with me. The the MPM's here along with Gamer or Cold Fusion Gaming. Let's see. Salty, you've been hanging out over with the Cold Fusion Gaming. That's awesome. I'm glad that we're starting to get some crossover with the communities. That's exactly what I wanted to see. Mastermind Hour, good to see you. Peace Dove, how's it going, Peace Dove? Midnight Karma, good to see you too. Cowboy Kitty. Anthony, good to see you. Steve Guy, how are you? Mastermind Hour, did I get you? The Tunneling Jew, welcome. I threw a wrench at you earlier, so you are wrenched up and ready to go. We've been getting a lot of bots, guys. That makes me proud that I'm actually doing something right to call on bots, right? Like the first time I ever found out we had a bot, we were in DC. Hey, Corky. We were in DC with everybody, right? We were there for an Assange thing, and Fee was talking about how we have this simp that does videos about all of us. And I was like, what? And she was like, yeah, about you guys. And I was like, no. Like, come on, who would actually take the time to troll us? So we must be doing something right if we're getting the trolls. Just ignore them. If they get too bad, most of you guys are wrenched up. Throw a timeout on them. If they're being vile and rude and disgusting, kick them the fuck out. You guys know I give you the power, so use it wisely. Thank you very much. Yeah. I try not to say that name on air, Kate, but yeah, you're absolutely right. And yeah, scary when you looked into it. Scary. Fair use. We are on YouTube this morning for what it is worth. I think Rumble's going to become this way too. So fair use. These are just my opinions. I'm merely commentating on the current events of the world. I merely scratch the surface. But if you're interested in anything I'm talking about, please go do your own research, even though they fucking tell you in every mainstream media article not to do that because it'll make you dumber. It won't. And I promise you the truth is out there. They just don't think you'll find it. And if you do, they'll call you a conspiracy theorist. So go look for the truth. I promise it's out there. I didn't know how much of the truth was out there till I started looking. More wrenches. Yes, those crazy wrenches. Maybe that's what I'm gonna go for Halloween this year. I'll go as a barmaid. I got a good barmaiden shirt. Yeah, but October's Oktoberfest anyway, so it really wouldn't be a Halloween thing, would it? Remember, free Assange. If you guys can get out there and tweet, 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 tweet. Try to get one tweet out a day that's Assange centric, please. It's that simple. Just retweet something that somebody else put out, retweet something Stella put out. It's really easy. There's a ton of us out there putting content out, but let's just keep hitting it, keep hitting it, keep hitting it. What else can we do, right? Let's see. Let's bring in. You guys know I'm headed for a big trip on February 10th, and I'm super excited. And this has all been facilitated by you. I can't even believe it. I mentioned that I wanted to go to Jimmy. Natalie got me a ticket, and then Kate stepped in and got me a place to stay. And so I just need your guys' help with taxi, ferry, bus. It's plane, trains, and automobiles to get out of where I live. So anything you can spare for my little trip to go network with Jimmy Dore and Steph will be amazing. Oz, I just got a coffee order this morning. I got a big old batch of Joey's coffee in the mail. I can't wait to take some Joey's with me. But I got a bunch of the women in independent media pins. And I can't wait to give Steph one because, Steph has been on the women in independent media closer role for years now. Right. So I can't wait to hand her one and, shout her out. You guys know I really want to go hang out with Steph. Jimmy's cool. I've met Jimmy plenty of times, but Steph's who I'm going for. So thank you guys so much for your support and your help and the super chats going over on Beauty and the Boomer. It helps us. I know I'm going to be able to pay the bills next month, and that's super great. So thank you so much. And taxes are coming up. I'm a little stressed about that because even if you make nothing doing this, they want half of it. And so I don't know how much Google held back, and that'll be fun, right? It seems like the IRS is coming hard at everybody this year. Could it be that they're spending all their money on fucking war? I don't know. They're definitely not spending it here on Americans. We know that, right? Not at all. Went to the food bank last week, right? Because things are, it's the end of the month. What is today? Like the 80th day of January or some shit. And times are tough in the trailer park. And times are so fucking tough at the food bank. We got a little tiny bag that had 2 rotten bananas, 3 rotten onions, like they were moldy. I had to throw them out before I even took them out of the bag. 3 potatoes and 2 carrots. Like, oh my gosh, times are tough. So if you guys can help out your local food banks, that's your front line of poverty and homelessness. Those are the people that are on the ground actually helping people. I always tell you this: if you want to support your community, support your local food bank because they truly are the front line of hunger. But hey, the Biden administration has cut child poverty in half. Yeah, tell that to the people in line at my local food bank. I don't think they're going to buy it, just like we're not buying it. Okay, let's get this show on the road. Let's start out with an uplifting message from our president. Let's see. What does he say? So Elmo tweets out, wow, Elmo is glad he asked. Elmo learned that it is important to ask a friend how they are doing. Elmo will check in again, friends. Elmo loves you. Hashtag emotional well-being. Okay. So Biden retweets Elmo. Yes. Our president retweeted Elmo. And he said, I know how hard it is some days to sweep the clouds away and get to sunnier days. Does he fucking know? Does he know? I don't think he knows. Our friend Elmo is right. We have to be there for each other, offer our help to a neighbor in need. And above all else, ask for help when you need it. Even though it's hard, you're never alone. Oh my God. How vomit fucking worthy is that? We've been asking for help, Biden. The whole fucking country's been asking for help. All of the homeless have been asking for help. The food stamp cuts that you put back in place when you rolled back the COVID provisions last April. We've been screaming. Oh, and no food stamp adjustments, no EBT adjustments for fucking inflation that we're living under. It's mind-boggling that this fucker can tweet out something so stupid, right? Yeah, let's talk about the Biden camps coming to a town near you, not coming to a town near you, already at a town near you. Let me tell you, I live 300 miles away from the big cities. And we are a very rural community. We're a farmer community. We never had homeless. Never. Never. That happens in the big cities like Seattle, or even the smaller cities like Bremerton or Port Orchard. That doesn't happen in our tiny little podunk towns. Well, guess what? It does now. It is everywhere. But we just pretend like we don't see it, and we get gaslit on the numbers constantly, right? I told you guys about how we went in and did an investigation to our local shelter. When I got inside the Dems, we wanted to know, where was all this money going? We allotted them $10 million in my county to fight homelessness. And 10 years later, they had nothing to fucking show for it. And they couldn't even account for that money. Turns out it got embezzled. Oh, like it always does. Are we shocked? Not shocked at all. Yeah, I'm kind of pissy this morning. Last day of the month, just I'm done with January. Go the fuck away, January. It's time to fucking go. People are hungry. People are starving. And when you have 31 days in a fucking month, people are going without. You know, they only give you enough EBT normally to cover maybe 2 weeks, but that was before inflation hit. You're lucky if you get a week's worth of food out of the bullshit they give, the people living on Social Security right now. Take my mother-in-law. She gets $130 in EBT. How the fuck is anybody supposed to live on that for a whole month? For a whole month. That's not enough to buy a week's worth of food. About it. When eggs are $8 a carton. Yeah. I showed you guys the McMuffins on Monday. 2 McMuffins, $15 fucking in Connecticut. Yeah, we got a serious problem, and dumping billions and billions of dollars into fucking foreign wars is not helping us. It's hurting us. Where do you think that money's coming from? That's coming from us. That's why inflation is the way it is. But Blanken doesn't understand. Blanken just says this is a serious, scary time, and maybe he didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know. Let's hear this message from Anthony Blinken.
I would argue that we've not seen a situation as dangerous as the one we're facing now across the region since at least 1973.
Oh my gosh. I wonder why it's so dangerous. Does it have anything to do with the fact that he is running foreign policy right now? Well, we know damn well that the Biden administration is not ran by Biden. It's ran by these assholes, and Blinken is the one that is setting policy. He is the one who has made it the most dangerous that it's been since 1973. Get out of here. Freaking cuck acting like he doesn't know how it happened. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, everybody covered this story yesterday, as well as I knew they would when I heard it hit on Monday night. And of course, this is Joyanne Reed dropping some truths behind the scenes. Oops, she got caught on a hot mic bitching about all these foreign fucking wars that Biden's getting us into. I'll play it. It's short.
Over the weekend, President Biden said he's ready to take action if Congress is serious about solving the border issue.
If that bill were the law today, I'd shut down the border right now and fix it quickly. And Congress needs to get it done.
Starting another fucking war.
Starting another
Still trying to kill the deal.
Oh, she got caught. Why would she even be saying that? I mean, we say shit behind this, Oz will mute us when we're playing a clip for you guys and we'll say stuff. But you always have to have the mentality of what if you're not muted? What if there is a hot mic? I mean, you guys saw the other day we were doing a stream test and I got caught with literally no makeup, my hair sticking straight up like, holy shit, what were we talking about? So when you know you have a camera pointed at your face, whether it's on or off, you have to be aware that there could be a chance anything you're saying is getting on a hot mic. So tell us how you really feel, Joyanne Reed. Maybe you and your buddies over at MSNBCS should stop telling people to fucking vote for this administration. Just saying. If you don't want to get into another fucking hot war, just saying. So she knew she effed up in real time, right? She knew so fast that it wasn't the next day she had to come out and say, I'm sorry. She literally popped right back up in the same outfit, same hair, going, oops, my bad.
Before we go, I just want to apologize very quickly. I was chatting during a clip that was playing, and we try to keep this show very PG-13. So I just want to apologize to anyone who was listening to my behind-the-scenes chatter. Deeply, deeply apologize for that because it's PG-13 up around here. So PG-13. Thank you to you all for watching the recap.
I'm not going to address what I said or why I said what I said. I'm just going to acknowledge that I shouldn't have said the F word because we're PG-13 on MSNBS. And oops, my bad. Let's not talk about what I said though. Right? She can't even own what she fucking said. That's how sold out and chicken shit she is. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna lose my job if I don't backpedal that. She didn't say Biden should stop getting us into wars. This is a stupid idea. No, she doesn't say anything like that. She just says, my bad, it's PG-13 around here. That is a ugly wig. I agree. I think she stole it from Trump. I think she went and got that out of Trump's closet because it looks like Trump's hair. They all make fun of Trump's hair, but then they want Trump's hair. What is that? I don't know what that is. Remember, Jimmy played this clip too. I was like, God damn it, Jimmy. But so I grabbed Jimmy's quote on this one. So to be fair. So remember when Biden was warning us in 2020 that Trump was dangerous because he was worried he's going to get us into a war with Iran? Yeah, let's hear.
The world has changed because of what Trump has done. And the American people, including independents and some Republicans, know how bad he is, know how much he's misrepresented, know how he's getting close to getting us in a war. I said, as the walls close in on this man, I'm worried he's going to get us to war in Iran. Unfortunately, I may have been right. The fact of the matter is there's a lot at stake in this election.
Oh, that's so vomit worthy, right? So Jimmy Dore tweets this out and says, there is no bigger warmonger, a psychopathic puppet of the military industrial complex than Joe Biden. Iraq, Libya, Afghanistan, Ukraine, Gaza, Iran, China are next. Voting for Biden is voting for war and genocide, a vote against the workers. Every accusation he has made about Trump is a confession America needs a real revolution. Yeah, we do. I don't know what a real revolution looks like, right? I thought I did. I thought I knew what a political revolution looked like in 2016, 2017, right? When you were on that ground and you felt that fucking grassroots energy that was inside the Bernie Sanders campaign. You had hope for a political revolution. We really freaking did. And we were squashed and crushed by the machine, the corrupt machine. And to pretend that we could have a revolution now, I can't do that anymore. I don't know what that looks like. I mean, like a real revolution with militia, that'll never happen in this country. Not the way our FBI infiltrates everything in the CIA. I don't know what it looks like, guys. If you could tell me what it looks like, I would be more than happy to listen, but I just don't see it. I don't see it with my own two eyes. Okay, so they're basing this new push to go to war with Iran, which they've wanted, right? Lindsey Graham's been out there beating the drums for let's bomb Iran for fucking ever, especially the last 6 months. And so we had this attack in Jordan. For one, what the fuck are we even doing with bases in Jordan? What are we doing with bases anywhere? What do we have? We have bases in 187 countries. 187 countries, but we're not colonizers. No, not at all. We're just here for your resources, but we're helping you. So for one, they didn't even. There's so much about this attack in Jordan, right? Like this drone came in, and of course it killed 3 servicemen. They call them troops now, right? Jimmy talked about that yesterday. They don't call them service members or military. They just call them troops. 3 troops were killed. And they said that the reason they let the drone come in, because they let the drone come in. They didn't shoot the drone. They could have shot the drone out of the sky. They could have stopped the attack. They said they mistaked it for one of our drones that was out on a mission and came back in, right? And then I'm getting there, Corky. And then we hear, no, it wasn't actually in Jordan. It was in Syria. Like the mainstream media is just coughing up bullshit lies when it comes to this so they can beat the drums of war, get the American people riled up because the American people, we're stupid. It's so easy to get us riled up. Just tell us that a couple of service members were killed somewhere and we'll want to blow them up. That's how we roll. That's being raised on Hollywood. Oh, somebody attacks us. We got to attack them back. So, I mean, the pretense for all of this is just a lie. 100%. So here is the White House, Speaker of the White House, right? The press secretary, Jean-Pierre. I always want to call her Jean-Pierre Van Damme. Anyways, she says the same shit over and over, right? Now, I brought you a clip last week when she was asked by, I think, Ducey in the press room about lose or how the feds won that case about cutting the wires, the razor wire down at the border. And she said, well, there was 3 people, these poor innocent people that were killed, and we couldn't get to them because the Texas, they were stopping us, that she always goes to the victim, right? Always got to play the victim. And then this is no different when she's asked about these 3 service members. This is just gross that she doesn't even have the respect for these people to not use them as a tool in her, sachet of lies.
What I will say, obviously our deepest condolences go out, and our heartfelt condolences go out to the families who lost three folks who are military folks, who are brave, who are always fighting, who are fighting on behalf of this administration, of the American people. Obviously, more importantly, we lost those souls.
Okay, now, and don't miss that she said they're fighting on behalf of the administration. Yeah, it's all about everything for the administration. Sounds a little Hitler-esque, if you ask me, right? And yeah, heartfelt sincerity out to the families that lost people, their military. This is the risk you run when you join the military, especially now fucking days. And you never know where you're going to end up. And of course, you can always count on this administration to weaponize it and use it for leverage for themselves like they always do. It's gross. It's gross. If that was my child, my son or daughter that was killed, I would fucking be pissed to see this chick saying this shit. Like,
what I will say,
family out of your mouth is what I'd be telling her, right? So gross. It is gross. So do you think they're going to take us to a hot war with this? Or, Biden has said, what? We'll strike back at our own time and convenience or some shit like that. I'm paraphrasing. Like, we will attack. An attack is imminent, but we're not going to tell you how or where we're going to attack, right? That's basically what Biden said. It turns my damn stomach. It absolutely turns my stomach. 100%. And the American people should be asking, why? Why do we have all these fucking bases there? Why are we even there? It's not our land. Could you imagine if somebody came and built a fucking compound and base in the middle of the fucking country? Oh, I don't know, Kansas, Missouri, whatever. Oh, it's a foreign country. It doesn't matter, right? They're our friends. They can come in and take it up and build. Not a big deal. Let's see what Fee says. Fee says, we're nearly 2 years into the war in Ukraine. Hundreds of thousands of Ukrainian lives have been lost. Billions of dollars wasted on death, bombs, and destruction of civilian life. The United States seems determined to destroy Ukraine. Russia is determined to stay sovereign and defend itself from its long-planned annihilation via NATO's collective war. Ooh, amen, Fee. I am returning today from the the Luxness Republic. I have the worst time with the Russian and Ukrainian words, where I just witnessed both the devastation and the strength of its people in attempting to rebuild while the risk of death is ever present. Pictured is a U.S. made Javelin missile taken by Russia, brought to you by Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. This is all we export. This is where your tax dollars go, to killing children here and now in Gaza. This is what U.S. America needs to realize. This is what we need to end. And I love when she says that, this is brought to you by Raytheon and Lockheed Martin. This is all we export. It is all we export. What else do we have? Colonialism and bombs. That's all we seem to give out to the rest of the world. But we pretend. We're really good at pretending that we are the best at everything else in the world, right? So vomit worthy. Your silence during a genocide, you are complicit. Absolutely. Now, I brought you some pretty vile videos on Monday of just the visceral, palpable hate that we are seeing from some of these protesters in support of Israel, right? I mean, some of the shit they say, like, oh my God, could you in a good conscience say that and you call yourself a religious person? I want to see you murdered and raped and you should have been gassed in the gas chamber. But yet they're the ones saying that the hate is directed at them. That's not what we're seeing, right? Not at all. So let's see, what is this? We don't give them food. We don't give them anything. This is the former mayor of the Israeli settlement in the West Bank, Daniela Weiss. Let's hear what she has to say. This is another very gross.
They will move. They will move. The Arabs will move. Why do you say that? If you don't give them, we want to have our hostages then, right? So we don't give them food, we don't give the Arabs anything. They will have to leave. The world will accept them.
Can I ask one last question? You know, there has been a massive increase in...
Don't feed them. Don't give them water. They'll have to leave. We don't care where they go. They just have to leave. That's always been the sentiment. That's still the sentiment. And no genocide attended, according to Biden, Blinken, and John Kirby. No, we're not trying to kill them. We're just trying to starve them, poison them, cut off their water. You know what I saw today? You know what they're doing with the sewage water in Gaza right now? They're literally running it into the tunnels, and trying to flood the tunnels with sewer water. But here's the thing. I don't care that they're flooding fucking tunnels that they built, right? The thing is once they open those sewer lines up and it floods, that's going to go into what little bit of water sources they still have left in Gaza. All the water will be contaminated. But hey, they flood the tunnels, right? It's just gross. It's so gross. So there's talk. There's bullshit coming from the White House. Now, this has got to be a total fucking dupe of mainstream media. That's the only way I can see it. I think they did this because they're feeling the pressure of all of the protests, all of the divest, the BDS movement. They're feeling it. Finally, they're feeling it. So they say shit like the U.S. is considering a weapons shipment pause to press Israel on Gaza. So they said this is the headline, right? We saw the headline, U.S. considering pausing shipments of weapons to Gaza. But then when you read it more carefully, it says the Biden administration is considering slowing or pausing certain arms shipments to Israel, right? Did you see all those words in there? Considering, slowing, pausing, certain, right? There's 4 words right there that are very that could mean anything. We considered it. We don't think that it's a good idea. We're going to slow. So instead of sending, tens of thousands of weapons, maybe we'll just send thousands. And certain weapons. So, hey, we stopped sending them, this, but we're still going to continue to send them white phosphorus, the whole thing is just a word salad bullshit that somebody in the Biden administration told some mainstream media, the AP, they probably got asked a question about all of the, protesting going on in the presser, and they're like, oh, well, we're considering slowing and pausing certain. I love those 4 words together. I'm going to keep saying that. Considering, slowing, pausing certain. It's bullshit. Don't buy it. Don't buy it. They're selling you lies, nothing but lies. Oh, this absolutely turned my stomach yesterday. Okay, so you guys know Blossom, right? I don't call her by her real name. I just call her Blossom because that's who, or Amy Farrah, right? From the Big Bang Show. She has got to be up there with Deborah Messing as the most revolting Hollywood. Just, it's so vile. So there's a comedian who did a stand-up, a shit-lib comedian who did a stand-up act making fun of Palestine and the protesters, what they're chanting. Like, oh, you look at these protesters and what they're chanting. So she had to record herself laughing at this guy. It is so gross. This is the mentality we're dealing with.
From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. I'm like, this is the new from the window to the wall. Yeah, it's a little genocidal, but the beat slaps. You listen to ours, they're awful. Because Jews like to convince you with a bunch of facts and minutia, rather than just sticking to a catchy tune. right? They're like, okay, guys, we're gonna do one of those chants, okay? It goes, when I say X, you say Y. X, Y, X, Y. Okay, here we go. When I say that in 1948 there was a UN partition plan giving a separate state of Palestine alongside a state of Israel, and the Palestinians rejected it and the Israelis accepted it, and then there was the War of Independence, which against all odds we won, and then in 1967 there was the Six-Day War where all the Arab armies attacked us, and again against all odds we won, and then of course there was the Refugee Crisis Resolution 242, which we will take care of in a final resolution, and then in 1973 was the Yom Kippur War where Egypt and all the other armies attacked, and again we won, but we had to give the Sinai Peninsula back to the Egyptians in return for peace, and then in the 90s were the Oslo Accords with Bill Clinton, which was only returned with the Intifada, and then in 2005 we gave Gaza back to the Palestinians and Hamas took over, and then Waze is an application that we all use.
I've seen enough. Why would you record yourself laughing at that? You're laughing at the death of thousands of people, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. It's not funny. It's not funny. And yeah, I'm just so sad that they get no representation in Hollywood. It's a bad thing, right? For sure. I think I got this one this morning. Let's see. Bernie Girl No More. I hear you, Bernie Girl No More. I'm a Bernie Girl No More too. 30 bodies of Palestinian civilians that were executed by Israeli troops have been found in a schoolyard in northern Gaza with their hands bound in black paper bags. Or black plastic bags, sorry. This does not seem to follow the ruling of the ICJ. Yeah, no, because it's a war crime. It's a fucking war crime. Everything they're doing is a war crime. But, the West doesn't have to answer for anything. Never ask a man about his salary, a woman about her age, or Israel about its evidence. Yeah, they can never fucking produce that evidence. But all the shitty mainstream media likes to quote that evidence, right? We talked about it on Monday. I brought you guys quite a few clips where they go, but what about the video from October 7th? What, that nobody's seen except for the AP and the insiders like Elon Musk? Yeah, okay. Oh, we got a lot to talk about with Elon. We got a whole Elon section today. But let's hear from Norman Finkelstein first, because he burns it to the ground like he always does.
So I have very little sympathy for what has become of that state. It's a satanic state. You look at the polls, 60% of Israelis, 60% say Israel's not using enough force in Gaza.
60%, that's insane.
It's not using enough force in Gaza. If you look at every metric out there, every metric.
That's insane.
Intensity of bombing, payload of bombs, imprecision of bombs, destruction of civilian infrastructure, ratio of civilians to combatants killed, ratio of children to total numbers killed, ratio of women and children to total numbers killed. If you look at every metric, there have been so many studies now done. What Israel is doing in Gaza is in a class completely its own.
Yeah.
It doesn't even compare. It doesn't even compare remotely to the carpet bombing of German cities during World War II, the Allied carpet bombing of German cities, the Allied bombing of Dresden. Doesn't compare.
Dresden. Go look up Dresden. It doesn't compare. Dresden was so bad.
To say 60% are saying you haven't killed enough, you haven't destroyed enough, you lose me.
Yeah.
My moral imagination stops there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going further. I don't see the other side. I don't see the concentration camp card site. I told Dr. West,
good.
You're not going to get me to call them brother and sister. It's not going to happen. I have limits on my moral imagination.
Yes.
And just as calling a concentration camp guard brother or sister, as I told Dr. West, is a sacrilege on the dead.
Yep.
In my opinion, I am not going to say I can understand where the Israelis are coming from. I won't go there. No.
I can't understand it either. And I'm a Jew.
In 2 months, The total, do you know that is more children killed than every single combat zone for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022 combined? Combined. More children killed. Now, who are they killing? They're killing people in a concentration camp. They're killing people in a concentration. They can't go anywhere. They can't flee.
Nope. Oh, so well, we love Norman, right? We love what he has to say, and he is so right. And we can't call these people brother and sister. I'm sorry. We're on the same planet, and we are all human beings. But anybody who thinks that indiscriminately killing children inside an open air prison is okay and they need to go fucking harder is insane. And the fact that 60% of Israel is calling for them to hit them harder is just mind melting to me, mind melting. Dresden Dolls was a great band. I've never heard of them. Kill Your E. Gregos. I'll have to check them out. Never heard of them. Yeah, arrest Netanyahu, child killer, war criminal. Total war criminal. The war crimes, right? And shout out to Oz the Boomer. He's had it really rough this last week. Of course, he ripped the whole entire studio apart. We got a new virtual studio. He had to take his system apart, take it in to have it serviced to make sure that wasn't the problem. Got it all put back together, got back into the studio, and still had the same problem. My heart broke for him. I know he's going to figure it out. Poor Oz, he's going through it. But Oz has always been very vigilant about making sure that we always put up, references to Rachel Corrie over the years. And I'm so glad that he did, because Americans just don't even know, right? So Rachel Corrie was killed in 2003. She was bulldozed over in a Palestinian family's home that she was trying to prevent from being demolished. Remember this? Just heartbreaking. She was actually from here in Washington State, Bainbridge Island, I want to say. And Ben Shapiro calls Rachel Corrie one of the greatest idiots of history. Rachel Corrie was a 23-year-old American woman who was crushed to death by an Israeli bulldozer. What a disgusting and inhumane thing for Ben to say. Are we shocked? Yeah, he said, I would love to write a book called The Greatest Idiots of History. Rachel Corrie would make the list. Let's hear.
I'm here because I care. I'm here because children everywhere are suffering, and because 40,000 people die each day from hunger. I'm here because those people are mostly children.
My name is Rachel Corrie. I'm from the United States. I'm from Olympia, Washington.
Rachel Corrie became internationally famous when she was crushed to death by a bulldozer in Gaza last year.
We are international human rights observers from the United Kingdom, from England, from Scotland, from Italy, and from the United States of America.
I've been here for about a month and a half now, and this is definitely the most difficult situation that I've ever seen. In the time that I've been here, children have been shot and killed. On the 30th of January, the Israeli military bulldozed the two largest water wells, destroying over half of Rafah's water supply. Every few days, if not every day, houses are demolished here.
International human rights observer. When the bulldozer crushed her, Rachel became the first American martyr to die in Palestine at the age of 23.
Now, I mean, what about October 7th? October 7th, right? They always, what about October 7th? No, they have been doing this for, well, we know, since they took the land in the 40s, right? But to think that that's how much they hate us. I mean, that's what they'll do to us. Yeah, they're our allies, though. Our allies. It does break my heart, Victory Jen. I agree. But there's some great protesters that are out there holding these politicians and these warmongers to account. And I freaking love it. When I saw Answer Coalition on the ground in front of Vanguard, I was like, yes, that's where we need to be. We need to be in front of Vanguard. We need to be in front of Raytheon. We need to be in front of Boeing and Lockheed Martin and the people that are profiting off of this fucking war, right? Let's check out some of these protesters. So this was in Philadelphia.
Free Palestine! 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 We want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? And the season has done now! We want
Oh, good to see that they're out in front of Vanguard. That's where they need to be. And here is Harris, just one of the Harris videos I have for you today. This was in San Jose.
And so, you know,
You say that the administration is working for reproductive freedoms, but how can that be true when the United States is complicit in the destruction of hospitals and schools in Gaza and the constant murdering? Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! Ceasefire now! You would call for a ceasefire now!
that she needed. We have a lot of very important issues that we all must discuss, but the topic for this discussion is what we need to do to fight back against laws that are criminalizing healthcare.
They always try to talk over them, right? We saw Pelosi do that this week too. Just try to talk over them, and then, you know, I love when we got lots of topics to talk about. We are supposed to be talking about reproductive rights, right? No, but I like the person who's chanting 4 more years. That is a fucking cog. That is a sheep. These people at these events who back these politicians up and stop their brothers and sisters, constituents from talking to the people that they elected to, because the person standing next to him shouting 4 more has, you know, everybody has the right to ask these people questions. They're supposed to be there to represent us. So you screaming 4 more years, you're taking away my right to talk to my representative. It makes me mad. That's why I don't go to these events. I'll end up in freaking jail because I'll get a little too opinionated for sure. Intelligence reveals details of the UN agency's staff links to October 7th attack. Around 10% of the Palestinian aid agency's 12,000 staff in Gaza have links to militias, according to an intelligence dossier, because we believe any intelligence dossier that they feed us now, right? Did we learn nothing? Have we learned nothing? Why are they doing this? Why are they attacking the UN and these aid agencies that are trying to get aid into Gaza? Well, a couple of different reasons, but the main one is they just got their ass handed to them at the ICJ, and they know that, you know, something's going to come from it, right? Somebody's going to have to send a resolution into the UN telling them, hey, these guys got found guilty of doing some war crimes and shit. Maybe you guys should do something about it. But if they preemptively make the UN look bad and anybody who's working with these aid agencies for the UN, well, then they're complicit. They're a part of the Hamas problem, right? So this is preemptive strike is what this is. All of this intelligence dossier bullshit about how these Gaza aid agencies have militants that work in them. I'm not buying it. I mean, yeah, I'm sure there's some, but 12,000? 12,000? Come on. I'm not buying that at all. Kim Iverson. I love what Kim has to say here. Bear with me while I get through it. So Kim says, sadly, when someone now tells me that they're an Israeli, I had to wonder if they are the genocidal, ethnic cleansing supporting type or a good guy. I imagine this is how people viewed Germans after World War II. Are they a Nazi or not? The new association is forever a stain on Israelis and worse, Jews in general, since so many conflate the two and so many American Jews are rabidly supportive of Israel. Yeah, rabidly is a good choice of word there, Kim. And then she follows that up by saying, honestly, America should be ashamed in the same way for the endless warmongering. We're close, but not quite there yet. And yes, many of us, when we declare on our travels, I'm an American, will have to quickly then sputter, but not the war loving type. Yeah, it used to be Americans could go anywhere and, oh, I'm an American. Now I'm fucking ashamed. I'm ashamed. Yes, we're colonizing. We're killing. We're stilling. That's what we do as Americans. And hey, we're better than you, right? That's the mentality. Just I know all of you guys are self-aware of it, right? Kim nailed that one right on the head for sure. This is a great message. I thought I had a couple of others that went with it, but this is just a TikToker. And I think that she has a very good point of the things that we've learned since October 7th, right? Hey, you guys have learned some stuff. I know I've learned some stuff. Let's hear what she has to say.
I wrote a list of all the things I didn't know before October 7th, and I'd like to read them for you if you have a minute. I didn't know about the Ottoman Empire, Theodor Herzl, the father of Zionism. I didn't even know what Zionism was. I didn't know about the Havara agreements. The year 1917 didn't ring any bells. The Balfour Declaration. I knew Israel. That's all I knew. I grew up in an evangelical Christian household, and I was taught to unwaveringly, unquestionably stand with Israel.
Yep.
I didn't know it was a made-up state. I thought it was the same Israel in the Bible. I thought Muslims, Christians, and Jews had been fighting over the same land since the beginning of time.
That's what they told us.
I didn't know there was a Palestine. I didn't know everything I associated with Israel, the food, the culture, was stolen from the Palestinians. I knew there was a wall. I knew there was a wall between Israel and another country, but I didn't know the name of the other country. I didn't know of the West Bank and the Gaza Strip. I thought it was just a wall separating the two countries. The dates 1948, 1967, 2005 didn't mean anything to me. I had never heard of the British Mandate, the PLO, the Oslo Agreements, the Six-Day War, Hamas. I didn't know about the land, sea, air, and trade blockade. Occupied territory wasn't a part of my vocabulary.
Yep.
I didn't know about AIPAC. I didn't know my country was under the control of another country. I knew our government was corrupt. I knew our politicians had more than likely been bought out by lobbyists and corporations. But I really did think there was two parties. I really did think those two parties stood for something. I knew about BlackRock and Rockefeller, but I didn't know about the secret covenant. I knew celebrities didn't really care about us, but I thought they cared about something. I thought being an ambassador meant something. I thought the fundraisers were actually getting money to the people who needed it. I thought the UN and the World Food Program actually meant something. I thought international law meant something. I didn't know about the Arab countries were so divided. I hadn't memorized the map of the Middle East and where each country stood in this conflict. I didn't know what a keffiyeh was or its significance. I didn't know about the dance of freedom.
I think there's a couple of more parts to that, but I think you get the point. And I'm so glad to see somebody admitting, I didn't know these things. I mean, we knew them. We were activists, right? So, I mean, we have been screaming about Palestine for years and years and years. But to see the everyday people finally starting, and hey, you got to give it to TikTok. TikTok has educated a lot of people on this topic. And if you don't think so, just go look at the Biden administration's numbers for kids under 29. They fucking hate the Biden administration. They hate them. You're killing us with your climate policies. You're killing the children of Palestine. They're not going to vote for Biden. But does that mean that the Biden administration is going to lose? No, that's not how election rigging goes, guys. Definitely no Trump. Trump is not going to be the next president. I hate to break it to you guys. That's not how this is going down. Just a little PSA, if you are in the grocery store and you don't know if the products that you're buying support Israel and this fucking genocide, well, there's a new app now called No Thanks, and you can get it on your phone. And basically, once you have it on your phone, you have a bar scanner. You can scan anything at the grocery store that has a QR code, and it will tell you yes or no, you should not buy this. It's based in Israel. They support Israel. So peeps attached are 2 screenshots of the No Thanks app that allows us to scan grocery products barcodes to know if they are Israeli products. So we may boycott them. It's available on Android. It's not available for iPhone. Ugh, us iPhone people, we always get left out. So if you have an Android, go get this. It's called No Thanks. No thanks. And I don't know anything about their data collection. I don't know if they're going to take your data and sell it to someone. I would assume that's the way all apps work, right? But hey, it would make it easy and convenient when you're grocery shopping to know, like Hava. Oh, get out of here, Pelosi has been super loud. Like most of the Haba aisle is Israeli companies. Did you know that? I was shocked when I found that out. L'Oreal, Revlon, there we go. All of those type of countries. So yeah, we're having to rethink where we're getting our stuff, and that'll make it easy, right? I think that makes it easy. So as soon as I get it for iPhone, I will try it out. But I got one of those stupid iPhones, which I want to get rid of. I fucking hate iPhone. The whole reason I switched to iPhone was because when we came out of the 2016 convention, right? We had been in Philadelphia. They had used those Stingray on us, which acts like a cell phone tower, and then your phone connects to it, and then they can get in your phone, wipe your shit out, take your shit, get all your information, which they did to us in real time in 2016. But we were told if you had an iPhone, that it made it a little harder for them to get into, and the government, Apple was not allowing the government to just come in and take your stuff like Android was. Well, that's not true. Not true at all. It actually turns out that it's easier to hack iPhones because once you hack one, you can hack them all. Per Edward Snowden, right? So I don't know what we're supposed to do. I guess you just get a string and a can and you just run it to your neighbor's house if you need to talk. And that's the only way that you're not going to have data collection done on you. So I brought this disgusting video of Pelosi on Monday, right? She did the State of the Union on Sunday, telling everybody that it's Russia, 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 right? Well, she's had a change of heart and now it's China. So let's check these out. They're real quick. I know everybody's covered this, so I don't want to go too deep with it.
But for them to call for a ceasefire is Mr. Putin's message. Mr. Putin's message. Make no mistake, this is directly connected to what he would like to see.
Okay, so there she is on Sunday telling you it's Putin. Now here she is on Monday, and of course she has protesters outside of her house, and according to her, they're always out there, and they are paid for by Russia, right? That's what she said. Those are doing Russia's bidding. That's Mr. Putin's message, right? Well, now she says, go back to China where you're from. What?
Most of your constituents block beside you. Stop the genocide. Stop the Holocaust.
The Democrats want the ceasefire. The Democrats want the ceasefire.
Go back to China. Go back to China. See, this is what they do when they know they have no argument. She can't argue back over anything, right? She just has to defamate you, right? Oh, you're from Russia. Oh, you support China. This is a desperate measure is what this is. This is what I see. They're feeling it, man. They're feeling the pressure. I see that all over the place. I see that from them lying to the AP and saying, we're thinking about, a pause on certain. And then you see these guys, they don't have anything to argue back with, right? You're just like, if you call them anything and you're a protester, you're a Russian bot, or now you're a China bot. I don't know. I don't know. She needs to just give up and be done already, right? But she won't do that because then she would be giving up her power, and she can't give up her power. She still has insiders trading to do because that's how she got rich, and we know it. We've seen it, right? Term limits, man. We need some fucking term limits. So this TikToker has something to say about it. And yeah, I don't know who this is. Of course, it's just a TikToker, but I like what she had to say about Pelosi and the whole China-Russia thing.
What is the #1 defense strategy of an abuser? is to discredit the victim.
Yep.
Today, Nancy Pelosi told protesters outside of her house who are asking for a ceasefire, asking for an end to the killing, to go back to China, where their headquarters is. And yesterday, on Inside Politics on CNN, she told Dana Bash that protesters are tied to Russia. You see, in the propaganda war, when you have nothing left, when no other talking points are actually sticking, you have to discredit the victim, or in this case, those who are speaking up for the victim. And the best way to do that is to tie them to a foreign entity. In this case, you tie them to Russia, you tie them to China, and then you can take steps to make it illegal for people to speak up. And this is New Age McCarthyism.
Yes.
This is the way they are going to move forward with us in the future. When in reality, the only entity tied to a foreign government is our own government.
Surprise, your only government that's tied to a foreign government is your government. Yes, absolutely. And she's so right about this is how abusers act. This is, Nancy is abusing these protesters. Her own fucking constituents have an opinion. They're the ones who put her in power all of these fucking years. But when they show up in her driveway and want to ask her why she's supporting genocide, well, then she attacks them because that's the only defense she has, right? Ugh. Yeah, I would love to hear more. I couldn't help but thinking when I saw her garage, right? That's the house where her husband, Paul, was viciously attacked with a hammer, right? Boy, we haven't heard much about that story since it happened. The guy managed to get a phone call out to like the LA Times or some shit where he says he wished he would have got him. I don't know. It seemed so planted, that story, or it was such a cover up, right? I think it was a cover up. I think Paul had some midnight calling going on and it went awry. And they covered it up by saying it was a crazy fanatical. First, they said he was a Trump supporter, right? But then I think they came back and said he was a Bernie supporter. So crazy fucking Bernie bros, man. They're the worst. They are the worst. Not worse than this, though. Oh, good times. Meghan McCain and RFK Jr. are doing a podcast together. And Comrade Misty, as Putin's buddy, says, drink every time one of them says the phrase, my dad or my father. What a clown show. Yeah. Clown shit, totally. Jimmy thought that was funny. I don't advise watching that, but that is funny. That's a drinking game that would get you totally effed up, don't you think? My father, when my father, RFK Jr. likes to say my father a lot too, doesn't he? Definitely. I brought you Marianne Williamson because there is some people that still think she has a fucking flaming chance in hell of winning something inside the Democratic Party. I'm just so confused at why we're playing this game like she's actually a candidate. Because we know inside the Democratic primary, there are no candidates. There's just the establishment. That's how election rigging works. Let's hear from her. She stopped by the Breakfast Club, which is just brain dumb stuff over there, man. If you've ever watched that show.
I often wonder if any of that stuff is realistic, like the student loan debt, the police reform. Maybe just because I've become such a pessimist because of the system. Mm-hmm. I just wonder if any of that stuff is realistic or is just lip service that
because they want you to think that. Yeah. Because they want you to think that. So this is the deal. The Republicans don't even pretend. But the Democrats are like, oh, just bring us in again. Let us finish the job. Bring us in again. We're really trying on that. We're really trying. That's what they want you to think. They want us to think, well, I guess it just can't be done. Why the hell can't it be done? Every other advanced democracy has universal health care. Every other advanced democracy has free college. Every other advanced democracy has free child care, paid family leave, guaranteed sick pay, and guaranteed living wage. The reason it can't be done is because they are in the pockets of the insurance companies, because they are in the pockets of the pharmaceutical companies, food companies, chemical companies, big oil and defense contractors. And so they've numbed us. And they've known like, well, I guess I guess we can't do it. We're like acquiescing to that. Meanwhile, that's the way you get the fascists. Because people, what Franklin Roosevelt said is we would not have to worry about a fascist takeover as long as democracy delivered on its blessings. Democracy is not delivered on its blessings. You have 100 million people who don't vote. I think for many people, it's the only way to say F you to that system. Mm-hmm. It's a dysfunctional, but I think an understandable reaction to a system that is doing nothing for them and that they know no matter who they elect, their visceral experience is that I'm still at the effect of an unfair economic system, which is policy after policy, making it easier for those who already have money to make more money and more difficult for everybody else to even survive. The American people have got to do an intervention here. That is the only way it's going to happen, is if we bring someone from the outside and say, this shit stops now.
Okay. I mean, do you have a problem with anything she said? I don't. I mean, she was right. She's right. They are captured by insurance. They are beholden. But here's the thing. She thinks that she's going to change the system from running inside of the system. Yeah, I see a lot of people from the Bernie movement still in a lot of the spaces that I'm in. Oh, I'm definitely going to vote Marianne Williamson. Like, do you think that's going to fix anything? It's not going to fix anything. She's going to sell a lot of books because she's saying the same things as Bernie, right? So she gets the love of the struggling average American, but at the end of the day, she's not going to do a flaming goddamn thing for you. No, it's just a waste of time and energy. But hey, her book sales will be up after this campaign tour she's doing, right? Because she's in a Democratic primary where half the ballot she's not even on, from what I understand, right? I'm not even paying that much attention to the Democratic primary because it's a fucking shit show joke. We know that, right? So Glenn Greenwald tweeted that out and said, what Marianne Williamson raises here, 100,000 Americans don't vote because they think neither party will improve their lives. It's crucial. The excuse given by the Democrat partisans, this is just privileged white people. It's a lie. Non-voters are overwhelmingly poor and non-white. Yeah, that's what they would tell you, right? Are you voting third party? Vote third party. I'm not discouraging anybody from voting third party. I am voting third party. I will put my vote in there for a third party just to support a third party. I'm definitely not voting for anybody on either side of the machine. That includes Trump. I will not vote for Trump either. But at the end of the day, I see the Democrats taking this away, guys. Biden started all these wars. He's going to hold on to these wars, whether they bring somebody in at the last minute for the convention, the Democratic convention, and they switch it out, be it Newsom or we've heard Clinton, we've heard Michelle Obama kicked around, right? Because they don't think that Biden could do the job. We didn't think Biden could do the job 4 years ago. That didn't stop them from stealing the election and running it down our throats. So don't expect it to change. I'm not expecting it to change one bit. But support those third-party candidates, I guess, right? She's not a third-party candidate. Oh, let's talk about Icky, because Icky wants war, but she is not an establishment candidate, right? She went out there and told the media the other day that she's grassroots and the American people support her because she doesn't support the establishment. Okay, Neo, we hear you. Here she is with Fox and Friends.
You're saying now's the time to hit Iran?
Now's the time to hit their leaders. It's different. Don't go and bomb the country.
What about their infrastructure?
The infrastructure in Iraq and Syria. You start with that first. You do the sanctions and you take out a couple of their leaders. That's the way you start.
In their country?
If they're in their country, or you do like Soleimani when they left the country. You figure out where they are. Our special operations can do that. And then you take them out. That will send a message. We've got to do this immediately.
We got no shits to give about your sovereignty. If there's somebody in your country we want to kill, we're going to come kill them, according to Nikki. We don't care where you are. We'll just come get them. Like, neocon Nikki is going to take us into more wars, not less. Yeah, it's just so gross. She's even getting protested by her own fucking supporters. Check this out. This is from this weekend. So, no new wars. I'm done with the military-industrial complex. This is what she's fucking trying to tell people. But you just saw her say what she said.
Only way we will get that done. None of us want new wars. None of us want new wars.
And we're sticking with wars. We want America first.
Sit down. Oh, that was fun. That was fun to watch. That really was. Nobody wants new wars. We just want to go bomb people and kill people in their own countries. Like, she's invested in Raytheon. I would have no doubts. I would have no doubts. We know she has been the establishment candidate now. Like, she's getting donors on both the left and the fucking right. And why is that? Because they hate Trump. They're scared of Trump, and they're damn convinced, especially after this E. Jean Carroll verdict, that they're going to take Trump down and he's not going to be allowed to run for president, right? So hold on, Nikki, just hold on, and you will be the nominee for the Republican side. And then when Joe Biden beats you, it won't look like it's rigged. Don't you get it? Yeah, we know Nikki. I love this meme. I don't know who made this meme, but Nikki Haley in the military industrial complex. I have a feeling that one's going to stick around for a while. She is such a hoe to the military machine, isn't she? Oh, but it gets better because I had found this little rap for you guys. Now, I know some of you are not into the rap, but I think it's funny. So here's Nikki. This is called, what is this called? I don't remember what it's called, but check it out.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I want to send this one out to all the wolf pigs worldwide. Beltway to Brussels, Lockheed to Boeing. Some flavor from Tricky Nicky and my slave. I'm the type of girl that starts wars and smiles. Still in all, I need the backseat of my sleigh once in a while. Are you in a party whore? I give you what you're looking for. Hardcore. I know you want to come in my sleigh. We can walk in a swamp shade. You're checking out my wedding ring, scoping out my jewelry. Let's do this in a hurry. Hubby's overseas at war, letting out my inner whore. You know just what I'm looking for. That's when I see my man Noon. Yo, what up, trick? Votes are due as I turn a corner, staring at a lobbyist. I'm a swampiest, the swampiest. I'm trading on a stock tip, major donor list, incredible. I do them favors. I'm putting on my lipstick. I wanna suck on that big fat, yeah. Quick, I know a place where we could do a golf debate. Backseat of my sleigh, backseat of my sleigh. You know I'm getting laid. Backseat of my sleigh, this how I'm getting paid. Backseat of my sleigh, let's swing the sescapade. Backseat of my sleigh, I triple X. Backseat of my sleigh, you know I'm getting laid. Backseat of my sleigh, this how I'm getting paid. Backseat of my sleigh, let's swing the sescapade. Backseat of my sleigh, I triple X.
That's bad. That was Ramble Rants that put that out. Nikki Haley said, a crime is not a crime if it is not successfully carried out. Not so. And she is as dumb as she looks. Yeah. It's not a crime if you don't pull it off. You can attempt it. And if you don't pull it off, it's not a crime. It's not a crime. That was fun, wasn't it? Yeah, I saw that yesterday. I was like, oh, I have to bring that. That's funny. I got a couple of other good ones on the deck, too. Let's see. We got Biden. Biden's throwing his hands in the air. He's done with the border. He's done everything he can. Let's hear from him. Mr. Shuffleout.
With executive authority, or is there more you could do? Absent
I've done all I can do. Just give me the power.
I've done all I can do. Just give me the power of Grayskull. He needs more power. He doesn't have enough power, right? He probably doesn't. He probably doesn't even have the power to pick his pudding at lunchtime. Would be my guess. Do you want vanilla or chocolate? You know. No, he wears chocolate. If you give him chocolate, he smears it everywhere. Just give him the fucking vanilla. Can't tell I've worked in a nursing home. Ro the Ho doesn't have enough to say about Biden and his administration. So he speaks at the first in the nation's dinner in South Carolina. Okay, so let's hear from Ro the Ho. And you know he gets off on lying to you guys, right? He loves to lie. So let's check it out.
President Joe Biden represents the best chance for peace in the Middle East and for two states living in justice.
Oh my God. Yeah, he is the best chance for peace in the Middle East. Can you believe he actually says that shit with a straight face? We didn't see all these wars popping off in the Middle East until Biden got in there. I mean, Trump was doing his best to kind of quiet the situation to make everybody happy in the Middle East. That's my impression of what Trump was doing there, right? And not to say that Trump's not a dumb Zionist, too. That'll give them everything. But, yeah, I don't think Trump wanted this type of fucking war. And Biden wants us to hit Iran. I mean, that's their whole goal. Now, we've known this. We've known this forever. We all saw, right after Iraq, how they had a plan to go marching into 7 countries. We've seen that for years. We've known about it for years. This has been the plan all along. And, yeah, they just had to get a Democrat in there to help smoosh it down the road a little, right? Obama got us so far, and then goddamn Trump slowed things up for 4 years. But hey, we're back on track now. We got Biden. What is this? Breaking. Philadelphia man beheaded his father and federal employee and called for a revolution against the Biden regime and army of illegal immigrants in an online video. Now, I haven't seen this, and oh my God, how terrible. But yeah, let's just blame it on, crazy mega, right? So Andrew Z. Smith, my friend, says mentally ill person does a thing because of how terrible the world has become. What does Trump have to do with it, right? They always got to make it about Trump. Everything that happens will always be about Trump. Do you have a history of mental illness in your family? Oh, yes. My whole family thinks that they can vote their way out of this. You can't vote your way out of it. Not going to happen. Shout out to my buddy Andrew. I haven't got to hang out with Andrew in a long time. He's a fucking riot, let me tell you, and smart as a whip. That guy is super smart. Simon Adibita. Simon says, breaking massive election interference. Once again, it's clear the American people do not choose their leaders, but super PACs and billionaires do. In a significant development today from the upcoming presidential election, Future Forward, a powerful super PAC, announced that it plans to invest a record-breaking $250 million in TV and digital advertising across the battleground states to support President Biden's re-election in 2024. Note, this would mark the largest political advertising by an external group in U.S. history. Really? In U.S. history, $250 million? That's the highest. I thought Hillary put out a lot more than that, but I could be wrong. Future Forward said it aims to counter the influence of the questionable funding supporting Trump's campaign and has received approval from the White House. Oh, so there you are. Mass money being dumped into our election to sway it by billionaires and super PACs. But please tell me again how you can vote your way out of this. Yeah. The more I see what the Democrats are rolling out, the more I think Trump doesn't have a snowball's chance in hell. Even though if we did a legit election today and everybody went and showed ID and cast a paper ballot, Trump would hands down win, and we all fucking know it. We all know it. I don't care where you are in this country. You know how much support Trump has versus how much support Biden has. But $250 million, well, that evens the playing field out a good bit now, doesn't it? Democrats. Now, I've seen this rant on quite a few shows. This was this weekend. I'm trying to think, where was this? Vegas. This was in Vegas. This was a Harris event, a re-elect, big campaign dinner, right? So much a plate, I'm sure, that people were personally invited to. In order to go to this event, you had to have a personal invitation, which these women had a personal invitation to. But, they showed up and they had their scarves on. So therefore, they were immediately singled out for wearing the hijab. Check this crap out. This is just what Democrats do.
Choosing who's going in and out of the event. I'm sorry.
Why are you choosing us not to go in when we have an invite?
Right, you specifically singled us out.
That's racist. Is it because we have hijabs?
I'm happy to talk to
someone
else.
It is, because that's clearly, I was afraid of this. That's
you
crazy.
Singled
that's
us
not
out of everybody.
Isn't that against Democrats? Whole campaign? Out. That's very Islamophobic. That's very racist.
I'm sorry.
Aw, the Dems are so inclusive. When it suits them.
We have an invite.
You're part of the LGBT community too, right? And you're still going to kick us out?
Come on through.
Are you serious?
That's crazy. Wow. Now I really won't vote Biden and Harris. That's crazy.
Oh, they might say something about a ceasefire, so we can't let them in the door. Oh, they got their hijabs on. They're not welcome.
Because we want to talk.
But they're welcome to vote for us. They're just not welcome to come to our events.
Come on through. Thanks for being here. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for being here. They're racist, Islamophobic, obviously.
And you're being racist.
Get a ticket or something?
They're disinviting us because we have hijabs on our heads. That's why, people.
And all those good Democrats, those moral people walking by, not defending or saying a damn word.
Obviously, we're the only hijabi women. That's kind of clear. They're disinviting us because we have scarves on our heads.
Literally.
Gotta love
That's
Democrats.
Disgusting. When we have an invitation, just like everyone else, what is the problem?
By a man who's in the LGBT community too. You're going after another group.
Can they come in?
Such diversity. Oh, look, somebody finally stood up as a
Why
Democrat
not?
and said, why can't they come in?
It is,
Yes,
because
it is.
why isn't
You
it?
singled
We
us
have an
out just
invitation.
We're out of here that don't have any.
No, here, don't come up with excuses because
You are a black woman and you're coming up with excuses for racism as well.
Shame on you.
I didn't give you an excuse. You just said that we're not being discriminated, but when you clearly are.
I'm letting you know that you've been disinvited from the event.
You've been disinvited. That is gross. I know there's more video out there. They continue to talk to the staffers saying, hey, you guys fucking invited us. Why can't we go in? Just because we showed up with hijabs on, we're not allowed in. Yeah, this was somebody in the Harris campaign said, don't let them in because they might say free Palestine. They might say ceasefire. We just don't need that right now. You know, it's a big tent and everybody's included until we say you're not fucking included. This is gross. This is what the Democrats are. This is they use you. They use populations for a vote. They don't actually support you. How many times do we have to tell you? Well, they found out, didn't they? We're just going to see more of this. And they don't have to be inclusive when they can dump $250 million into Biden's digital campaign, right? So gross. It's so gross. Don't support the Dems. Call them out every time. I decided to add a new segment, guys. I had to add a new segment. You guys know I kind of fangirl out. We got Rome Says. We needed Rome Says because Rome, he lays it down. So let's hear what Rome has to say this morning.
I just got off the phone with my union rep. They reached out to me because they said I seemed a little irritated during the meeting.
Rome, no way. Irritated?
I have a couple of concerns because not only are they building a wall around our union, but they are putting a ceiling over us by aligning themselves with Democrats. Now, as a union, we should have no party affiliation. We should just be workers. That's it. You're going to have people who vote Democrat. You're going to have people who vote Republican. You're going to have non-voters. You're going to have independents. And you're going to have to work with each and every last one of them. But we turn people away when they see the solidarity this union has for Democrats, especially in this climate where we can just turn our phone on and see the same Democrats you trying to keep in power funding a genocide. How do we get young people who are pro-union but a non-voter in our union? You can't. Not only is this union weak, it has been co-opted 3 or 4 times by now. There is no way the head of our union should be endorsing anybody. We don't need politicians. Politicians need us. We don't have to vote for a Democrat or Republican to get what we want. Strength. We have strength in numbers. And we can have people out from California, LA, Detroit, New York, Pennsylvania, all across America using these numbers and threatening these people's jobs. That's how we...
Love Rome. Love what he has to say. And he's so right about the unions. We talk about it all the damn time. The unions are top down. I love when he says they're putting a ceiling on us because where can you go? Yeah, you're boxed in. You have to listen to the union reps. They tell you who you have to vote for. And it's always the Democratic establishment for most of these unions, right? Doesn't matter who they are. Doesn't matter who the Democrat is. Oh, we just blindly support the Democrats because some of the higher ups have some kind of pack where they're getting a kickback on it. And yeah, we're going to endorse Biden. How many of these unions of the working class people have we seen already fucking endorsing the Biden genocidal administration? It's gross, and you need to rise up against your union. If you're one of the fortunate ones who's still locked into a union, push back. Tell them no. Tell them this isn't representing the working class people. We see you as a sellout because, it used to be if you were in a union, you had a little bit of protection, a little bit of oomph to get out there. Not anymore, right? It's all top down now. And I saw that firsthand being on the ground with the Bernie Sanders campaign in 2016 and in 2020. Do you know how many unions we begged to endorse Bernie because Bernie was putting out the message that the people of that union supported? That you could have 90% of the fucking union supporting somebody and the 10% will say, nope, you got to support Hillary. No, we're endorsing Hillary. It's so gross. So gross. Tara Reid, poor Tara Reid. My X feed is filled with blue anon, blue MAGA basically, or Democrat bots harassing and bullying me because of the E. Jean Carroll verdict in the defamation case. They are disgusting and have done this since 2019. Look at the stereotypical Democrat post below. There are too many like this to count. At Elon, is it possible to go after a troll farm, or is bullying for sale on X? Well, yes, bullying is for sale on X. We know that. Number one, no, it is not open season on me, and I will fight back. Number two, I never lied about anything or changed my story. Stop destroying my reputation. Number three, I'm sorry. I did not have resources for a legal case, and the event happened in D.C. in 1993, not in New York City. Why is that pertinent? Because New York City is where you could go back and charge somebody from 30 years ago, right? The statute of limitations. There was no statute of limitations. There is statute of limitations still in D.C. I will get a real investigation and justice regarding Biden. I hope she does someday. And the craven partisan attacks on me will be addressed. I will continue to fight. And so let's go see what one of the examples she posted. Bitch, you had your chance. You never filed the civil action case against Biden. Nobody made you run to Russia. You're a grifting, effing, lying whore. I feel terrible for Tara. That is so wrong that nobody's allowed to bully anybody on X, right? Except for if they don't like you and you support the other side, right? So Elon just allows this kind of visceral hate towards Tara Reid. And if it was any way else, I mean, can you see if that was anti-Jewish hate? Oh my God, they would shut that shit down so damn fast. There's a way to stop the bots. They have a way. They just don't use it in situations like this. And I think it's absolutely pertinent that Tara points out that she was in DC, not in New York. There's a total difference of filing a case like this. If she was in New York, she could have filed a case, but it didn't happen in New York. It happened in DC. And I hope she does get justice. And I hope she gets to come home and hold the Biden administration accountable. I really do. Poor Tara. Let's see. Don't let Trump cheat. Demand voter ID and paper ballots. Do you guys get it? Wink, wink. That's pretty funny, actually. Whoever put that out there was pretty smart. So it's trying to dupe the Democrats into demanding paper ballots and voter ID by trying to convince them that Trump might actually cheat and win. It's actually pretty smart. The January 6th Commission knowingly lied and deceived the American public. They deserve prosecution for treason. Yeah, I agree. I do agree. I think they lied. I think they duped. I think they manipulated. And it's gross. And anytime Adam Schiff is involved, it's a bad thing. Yeah, very sad group of people. Very sad, Trump. Very sad. Very sad. I would love to be Tara's personal chef. I bet you would, Popeye. She would like that, I'm sure. Who doesn't like a good meal cooked for them? Hey, do you guys see the largest cruise ship to ever exist just rolled off the line? Check it out. almost 76,000 passengers, or 7,600. That's crazy. It's got 6 water slides, 7 swimming pools, and an ice skating rink. It left Florida. Where's it going? I don't know where it's going. That's just gross. That's just gross. Who needs that? Who needs that? I've never taken a cruise, and I probably never will, just because I'm a little disgusted by the whole thing. I really am. Remember what happened during COVID with all these fucking cruise ships, right? You remember they were locked out at sea. They wouldn't let them come into port. The whole ship was sick. Everybody's puking and shitting everywhere. Yeah, they are the largest bioweapons. I agree. That's smart. They are. Well, what was it that they used to get? There's it's escaped me this morning, but there used to be a foodborne illnesses. Was it the norovirus, something like that these cruise ships always had? I mean, before COVID, they would show up in port with half the damn ship sick. Could be the bad shrimp. I don't know, but things tend to go around on those ships. So hey, if you take a cruise on the biggest ship, let me know. Take pictures of the ice skating rink for me. Okay, let's talk about Elon, because we got Elon news. The first human received an implant for the Neuralink yesterday, and it is recovering well. Initial results show promising narrow spike detection. Oh my God, it's happening in real time. Elon Musk is just one bad experiment away from being a supervillain. I think he's already a supervillain. You know, he does worship the Baphomet. So there you are. Who do you think got it? Do you think Elon got it? I think he would. I think he would be like, I'll be the first experiment. I don't know. They should give it to Biden, though. Biden's the one who needs it, if you ask me. Let's see. What is this? Elon Musk's Neuralink chip will allow users to stream music into their brains. Hackers. Oh my God, they hack with Rick Ashley. Yeah, that would not be a good time at all. I love the Sophia meme somebody made. How soon can I get one? Biden needs one. He definitely needs one. I would say so. And then Bill Gates, everybody says, let's make more vaccines. No, you'll put microchips into our body. I will literally put a microchip into your brain. LOL, nice. People are just begging for that chip, man. I wonder if they're pre-ordered as much as they are for the new Tesla truck. Probably so, right? I sent me this article. Artificial intelligence was taught to go rogue for a test, and it couldn't be stopped. Oh, I got the article for this one, so let me pull it up real fast. Let's see what it says. These stupid articles. This is MSN, and they literally have a paragraph in them. It's clickbait is all I can imagine. So artificial intelligence that was taught to go rogue could not be stopped by those in charge of it, and even learned how to hide its behavior. Oh, sounds like a naughty kid, right? In a new study, a research programmed various large language models, also known as LLMs, similar to ChatGPT, to behave maliciously. Then attempted to stop the behavior by using safety training techniques designed to prevent deception and ill intent. However, in a scary revelation, they found that despite the best efforts, the AI continued to misbehave. Great. Lead author Evan Hubring says, our key result is that if AI systems were to become deceptive, then it would be very difficult to remove that deception with our current techniques. Oh, that's important if we think it is plausible that there will be a deceptive AI system in the future. Oh, come on. You know it's going to happen. We've all watched Terminator. For the study, which has not yet been peer reviewed. Oh, so this isn't peer reviewed yet. Researchers trained AI to behave badly in a number of ways, including deception, where it behaved normally in training but acted maliciously once released. And yeah, that seems to be the end of the article. Oh, they also poisoned the AIs, teaching it to write secure code during training, but to write code with hidden variables when it was deployed in the wild. What the fuck is it in the wild? We released it into the wild and it had hidden variables. I don't even know what that means. The team then they 3 applied safety training techniques, reinforced learning, supervised fine tuning, and adversarial training. Yeah, we're in some deep shit, guys. We're just letting these things loose. Hey, let's see if it can be bad. Oh shit, it's bad. Well, we can't stop it from being bad or bad. Not peer reviewed. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. And I love at the end it says, since the arrival of Chat GPT in November of 2022, debate has escalated over the growing threat to humanity from AI, with most believing it has the potential to wipe out humanity. It does. It does. However, believe the threat is overblown. Yeah, this threat's overblown. But because most of the AI will be controlled to work for the good of the people. And that's the end of the article. So it went bad, but hey, we trained it to work for the people. So don't be scared. Don't be scared. It's not coming to wipe you out. Not at all. Edward Snowden says, okay, what is this? This says CBS News tweets out Detective Jonathan Riley. Absolutely, in this day and age, if your phone is off and not connected to a network, you're either the victim of a crime or you're probably committing one. A silent phone speaks louder in some cases than actions. And Edward Snowden tweets out, this is the darkest timeline. It is the darkest timeline. Hell is empty and the devils are here. I tend to agree, right? Who needs hell? Who needs hell when you got this prison state we live in? Okay, I've been waiting to bring you guys this one. I had to mute this so I don't take a copyright strike, because it is a remake of the They Live, John Carpenter's They Live. Somebody refaced Elon onto it, and every time he puts his glasses on, he gets a message, I don't know, from maybe Benjamin Netanyahu. Check it out. There is no sound on this because I don't want to take a hit. I'm probably going to take a hit, but I'm trying not to. And there's no sound anyways, really. It's just like music playing in the background. Yeah, X. The Jews are watching you. Go to Auschwitz. Obey if you want more ad money. That's hilarious. You've been warned. That was funny. That was funny. I didn't play a lot of times it's a sound that gets you when like with the spoof, so that's why I muted it. Like I said, there wasn't much sound to it, just like ominous music in the background, right? I mean, we've all seen the movie. It's a great movie. If you haven't seen it, go see it. They Live, John Carpenter. I'm not sure where you can watch it right now, but it is a great movie. Pretty funny that they did that because we all feel that way, right? Remember, he told him to fuck off, and within a week, he's over kissing BB's ass, and then he's touring Auschwitz. I think he fucked around and found out. And for Saturday's show, I've got a great report on stocks. I got an email this morning that broke down who's making money and who's not right now, and I think it's pretty interesting. So we're going to get into that. Obey your overlords. We know who Elon's overlords are, right? Let's talk about the farmers. The French farmers are doing it, man. They are ripping up the interstates. Like, no more interstates. They're just putting in fields now. I love this. Yay. Keep going. Keep going. Let's see. What did that meme say? Let's go back. If you're ever feeling alone, just know he is always there with you and he is always listening. Of course, that would be our Lord and Savior, Mark Zuckerberg. He is always listening, right? He definitely is. Okay, so last week, or maybe it was Monday, remember I brought you the tattooed dude who got a mandate fine in Canada and he fought it. He was the first one. He was supposed to be locked out. It was called a quarantine fine. That's right. It's called a quarantine fine. Some of this bullshit that Canada rolled out during the Orwellian COVID lockdowns. And it turns out that a lot of the shit that Trudeau was doing, which we knew in real time was illegal, is now actually getting called out and was illegal, including his enactment of the Emergency Act. Remember when he enacted the Emergency Act? So here's Russell Brand to break it down for you for a second. I say go watch this whole Russell Brand if you want information on it, because I only brought you like the first 2 minutes of it.
Justin Trudeau acted illegally in invoking the Emergency Act during the trucker protest in Canada. That's now been legally determined. So, will this be a victory for free speech, or will it lead to the doubling down of authoritarianism by apparently liberal governments? Hello there, you Awakening Wonders. Thanks for joining us on our voyage to truth and freedom. Remember, if you become a supporter of our work, we make additional videos every week, like one on the farming protest that's very like the Canadian trucker story, as a matter of fact, and you'll see how it all connected to January 6th, and you'll see how liberalism is using the idea of the far right to introduce more authoritarianism, apparently to protect people. We also did an exclusive video on an 8% increase in child deaths. We give you the kind of content that's difficult to bring you publicly, and it's so vital that you support our work if you can, because as you know, we are facing a tyrannical and authoritarian force that wants to censor and shut down. In fact, when I'm reading about some of this stuff, I think about the demonetization on YouTube, and I think about the government getting involved in our work, and I think about how the legacy media have operated recently regarding me personally. And it's very important that if you can, you support our work, because there's no doubt we are sliding towards authoritarianism under the guise of liberalism, and the Emergency Act and the attempt to evoke it by Justin Trudeau was one of those moments that revealed that neoliberalism and its sort of mask of cultural progressiveness is an interesting force in contemporary politics. Remember, people had their bank accounts frozen. People went to jail. We were told that it was a national emergency. Canada has never evoked this act in its history. So it was an unprecedented act with unprecedented consequences. All the while we were told that the truckers were racist, that they were Nazis. Remember, this kind of rhetoric is becoming extremely common. January 6th was an insurrection. The farmers' protests are somehow far right and racist. It's almost as if you attempt to resist globalism, which amounts to the advance of the agenda of a global elite attempting to control the world's resources and the world's democracies, if you oppose that, you will be called far right. Fortunately, in Canada, a ruling has found that Trudeau's government acted illegally.
So there you go. Not only did they act illegally with the quarantine fines they were passing out, but he acted illegally when he enacted the Emergency Act. They never get held to account, right? Somebody, a court might say, oh, well, this was wrong. You shouldn't have done it. But what about all those truckers who lost their livelihood? What about all those people who lost their jobs, who lost everything? I mean, once you start fucking around with somebody's bank account, it's real easy to take them into homelessness. I mean, and totally wipe them out. But, our bad, our bad. I can see Trudeau down now, just like, oh, yeah, it's not a big deal. We did what we thought we needed to do at the time, right? I wish he would go away. I feel bad for Canada. You guys know I'm awful close to Canada. I can literally see Canada. So I have a little bit of a feelies for my Canadian partners up there. This inflation, actual inflation rate, official inflation rate. That's too funny. Let's see. Landlords avoid raising tenants' rent by simply making coffee at home. You hear that, landlords? You don't need to raise the rent this year. You could just stop buying coffee at Starbucks and start making it at home. This is the Toronto Herald. Glad they're doing the heavy hitting news coverage up there. Good job, guys. Fuck me. I didn't have to raise my tenant's rent because I stopped going to freaking Starbucks. It's absolutely gross. Last American Vagabond, Ryan Christensen, that's funny. Ryan Christensen says the NSA is buying Americans' internet browsing records without a warrant. Oh, that's a good read. Go read it. Yeah, the NSA has been spying on you. They're never going to stop spying on you. They're collecting everything you do. Everything you do. Every text message, every phone call you make, everything. They know, and they've got the record of it. See, the problem seems to be them digging through that shit, right? But they got an algorithm now that'll probably do it much easier for them. You're being spied on in every way possible. We are being spied on in every way possible. And the NSA, I was once couple many years back, I was going through Utah. Maybe I was on my way into Colorado. You guys know I love to road dog. And I got down by Provo, and there was so much construction going on down there. Like, what the fuck? Why do they need 16 lanes, one direction going into this place? What the hell is going on here? Well, that would be the NSA super center, their super data collection center that they've got smack dab in the middle of Utah, right? Good place for it, too. Definitely a good place for it. Busted. This is. Oh, remember the dude who leaked Trump's tax returns that worked for the IRS? No. You're not supposed to do that. That's illegal. He just got 5 years in jail. Check it out.
Now, in an outrageous abuse of power, the radical Democrat Congress illegally obtained and leaked my personal tax returns, which show only that I've had tremendous success. It's been an amazing period of time. The seizure of these confidential records was completely unconstitutional. There is no legitimate legislative purpose for their action. And if you look at what they've done, it's so sad for our country.
So sad.
Bad boys, what you gonna do?
We're following breaking news. The former IRS contractor who leaked former President Trump's tax records has just been sentenced to 5 years in prison. 38-year-old Charles Littlejohn pleaded guilty in October. That's him on the right alongside his lawyer. Littlejohn also leaked the tax returns of Jeff Bezos and Elon Musk.
And did you ever hear the expression, Trump was right about everything? They have had. If you look back, I don't want to brag here, but I've been right about everything.
Judge Anna Reyes called Littlejohn's crime the biggest heist in IRS history and said he deserved the maximum sentence she could impose, in part because he targeted a sitting president.
They wanted.
Oh, don't target a sitting president unless you're the Democrats. The Democrats didn't come save him? Oh my God. They couldn't pay off a judge like they have against Trump? This just blows my mind. Little John always gets whooped in the head on Bonanza. I liked Little John, right? Oh, yeah. Michael London, he had some issues, didn't he? Who didn't grow up watching Bonanza? I think that was my mom's favorite show when I was young. Anyways, are we shocked? I'm a little shocked the Democrats didn't kind of protect this guy because they sure fucking loved that tax return. Remember Rachel Maddow had like a whole fucking season about it? Yeah. We have it. We have the infamous Trump returns. And what did it say? He makes a lot of money and he pays his fucking taxes. That's what we learned from those Trump returns. But somebody's paying for it. But he did it all for the good of the nation. Jeffrey Epstein's still alive. What? Yeah, I think we might have talked about this. They caught a picture. Here's the picture up in the right-hand corner. It was a drone that was flying over Epstein Island. And there was 2 maintenance workers, is what they said, that were standing outside talking. And I got to tell you guys, I've looked at quite a few close-up pictures of this. It looks like Epstein. It fucking looks like Epstein. And we've been saying since day one, from the time that he got arrested in July in 2017, 2018, one of those years. I knew he was going to get killed, right? I'm like, oh, they're either going to fake his death, get him the fuck out of here. He's got too much dirt on too many powerful, important people. No, this is never going to go to a trial, right? And hey, Barb, good to see you. Hey, Kim, what's up? And yeah, it never did go to trial, right? And there's always been speculation about how the supposed killing of Epstein went down. Of course, we had Bill Barr like, oh, I looked at the video. Nobody went into that pod, but all the video disappeared. And then they fired all of the guards who were asleep on the job. And end of conversation. Like, everybody's been punished. There's nothing to look at here. And we saw when they wheeled Epstein out, it didn't look like him. Like, right? There's a lot of speculation that he's sitting on his own island having a grand old time just by the amount of dirt that he had on the most powerful people in the world. I don't know. For some reason yesterday, as I was building this show, Google was not letting me put timestamps in here. I don't know why. So the timestamps on these next two videos just would not take. So I'm going to have to we'll play and see where we're at.
With the established connection between Epstein and the Mossad, it is easy to understand why he compromised his guests, and since he was finally caught and arrested, there were many people who needed Epstein alive. So, according to conspiracy theorists online, Epstein's death was faked. Jeffrey Epstein's suspicious death.
Where do you think all this footage is now? Do you think it's with the FBI?
Where
do you
is
think
the
it's with the
footage?
CIA? Do you think it's...
That is the question on everyone's mind. One thing is certain. Epstein may have had some sort of insurance to ensure that in case anyone tried to kill him, all the information that he had would go public. Therefore, everyone he was potentially involved with, from Mossad to the elites, needed him alive. However, the only way to do this was to fake his death and get him out of jail. Everything about Epstein's death is mysterious, which has led many to think that something sinister took place and that the official story was a cover-up. And as we will see, internet detectives may have uncovered the plot to sneak Epstein out of jail. When a picture of Epstein's body was pictured and the photo uploaded to social media, internet detectives were quick to notice that something
looks
was
like
amiss.
Epstein.
According to
Does that not look
internet
like
detectives,
Epstein? That
the
looks
nose
like
of the deceased body looked nothing like that of Epstein. While Epstein's nose when he was alive was straight and pointed, the picture taken as his body was being wheeled away from jail showed a curved nose. That was not the only body part that raised eyebrows. According to internet sleuths, there was also something off about his ears. They were not Epstein's. So how exactly did Epstein meet his alleged death? And what about his death made people skeptical? Well, to get the full story, it is important to delve into his long-known criminal history, as well as how he got to be in this position. In 2005, the first sexual abuse allegations against Jeffrey Epstein came to light when a 14-year-old girl bravely stepped forward to accuse him of molesting her at a Palm Beach, Florida house. This courageous act would set in motion a series of events that would eventually expose the dark underbelly of Epstein's world. According to reports, the young girl claimed that she had been brought to Epstein's mansion by a female.
Okay, I don't think it took the cuts that I had in there. Like I said, I don't know why these two videos wouldn't cut, but I think that looked like Epstein. Did that video not look like Epstein? I've seen that drone footage over and over. I've looked at it 100 damn times now. I think it's Epstein. Now, don't forget that I brought you a video just last week of the notorious Megyn Kelly, who said Epstein's not dead, and you might even hear from him ourselves. He might come forward and have something to say. What? And I was like, what is she smoking? What is she talking about? Why would she go on TV and say that? Especially with the platform that she has. And it didn't make sense. But if Epstein's still alive and he's going to come forward and burn some people to the ground, but what does that look like? I don't, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen. Come on. Yeah, I think that Oprah is building him in a condo in her volcano. Right. It's so sad. Yeah, it's so sad they took those islands and they're theirs now, right? They're all building bunkers, all of them. All of the rich have mega fucking dumbs going in right now. Deep underground military bases, right? I bring them every time I see them. We've talked about them for years. They're ready. They're ready for this shit to go down. Okay, so I got one more crazy story here for you. I know I have brought clips from both of these channels before. So Aaron Smith 11 is a YouTuber who grew up in Scientology, right? And he's up there with Leah Remini trying to expose them. Like, he interviews all of them. He's got a great channel. It's called Growing Up in Scientology. And I think that he's very smart and thoughtful about his coverage of Scientology. It's not just a hate fest of Scientology. He really goes into the issues, the problems, how they're a cult, how they're fucking abusing people and using people. And so we've seen a lot of protests, especially at the LA Center, not at the Celebrity Center, but they have one downtown Hollywood on the Strip, right? Have you ever seen the videos when you walk past there, they try to get you to come in and they try to indoctrinate you into the Scientology? Well, there's been a lot of protesters out there the last couple of months, especially since the Danny Masterson case, when we learned so much about the Danny Masterson case and how Scientology was covering up for him. But it wasn't just that. It was how the LAPD are hand in hand with Scientology and kind of do their bidding for them constantly. Well, this weekend was yet another example of that. So we had protesters outside of that center, and there was the Scientologists are notorious for doing ops. They run ops on you, right? They find out everything they can about you. They smear you. They do everything they can. I mean, they're diabolical that way, and they even admit it. You know, that's how they roll, right? And so Aaron is having a confrontation with a Scientologist who's down there with a big dog. He's got like a big pit bull, and the guy is sicking this dog on people, like very dangerous. He's threatening them. He's he's coming at him with this dog. Get him, sick him. So these protesters outside of the Scientology center, they call the LAPD, thinking the LAPD is going to come in and maybe shake this guy down, tell him, hey, don't use your dog as a weapon, blah, blah, blah. But when the LAPD gets there, oh, no. They work for Scientology. So the script got flipped and the protesters are the ones that got arrested, including Aaron Smith Levin. But that's not even the worst of it. The worst of it is when they drag him down to the headquarters, they don't put him in a holding cell. They hold him in the fucking bathroom. I'm not even kidding. This is BJ Investigates. I love BJ Investigates. She does some really deep dives on a lot of great topics. You might remember her. She was one of the founders of the Free Britney movement. She also has done a lot of work, Free BAM and the Florida Shuffle, right? All those treatment centers that are getting rich, keep locking people down and charging their insurance. So let's hear from BJ Investigates. I'll try to get through as much of this clip as I can because, like I said, this clip has been messing up. So I might have to rewind or fast forward when we start.
Hey, look, since y'all's stories are different, I'm gonna have to arrest you and bring you to the station if you want to press charges. And then he's like, well, but if you don't want to press charges, then I wouldn't have to do that.
If you would like the fellow arrested for the battery,
yes,
we have no problem facilitating a private person's arrest.
Yes.
With you being that private person.
Yes.
At which point you will be required to go to court to make certain that you follow through with those elements of the arrest.
You got it.
At the same time, listening to his clarification of his side of the fact, I always say there's three sides of every story. What you say, what he said, and it's something in between.
It's almost like a threat to coerce the victim of this violent crime into not pursuing justice. I mean, I don't know. It's what it looks like to me. You tell me.
Okay, so just so you know, and he's saying that you were following him around. He repeatedly told you to leave. Let me finish before you interject.
I'm not going to interject.
What's up, guys? Good. How are you? Good to see you. He repeatedly told you to stop following him around.
But Aaron Smith Levin then gets patted down, handcuffed, behind his back, even though he's the one who called the police to report this crime, this dangerous, violent crime. They put him in the car. This deranged lunatic starts emptying his pockets of what seems and appear to me to be weapons.
He has a weapon?
Yeah, he had 5 knives on him.
Just emptying his pockets. They're just letting him stand there with his dog. Look, he's the person that the LAPD was supposed to be investigating and asking questions and maybe, filing charges if they would just look at the videos. And it's kind of up in the air whether they watched the whole video or didn't watch the whole video. I mean, I have a whole live stream that I did for 4 hours on this. Y'all can go watch. But the TLDR, the long story short, they ended up bringing Aaron Smith Levin back to the police station, holding him there with handcuffs on in a holding cell for hours and hours.
I was there 4 hours total. So after the first 3 hours, I got to the point where my shoulders I was in a significant amount of pain. And there's something about being, handcuffed and shackled and attached to objects that really makes you feel like a criminal, like an animal. And for a while I was sitting there just feeling that I really had no rights and I was basically should be, thankful if they were to ever release me. And the longer I sat there, the more I actually got just filled with rage and fury that literally for being assaulted, I was now being treated like an animal and being made to feel like this is what I deserved. I deserved to be treated like this. And I started to get furious. And I said, and I started to tell myself, I don't have to sit here in pain. I have rights. Like I'm in actual pain. For what? Like for nothing.
Telling him that he was going to have to stay there all weekend. His lawyer showed up. They lied to the lawyer. The police officers, the LAPD lied to the lawyers, to Aaron Smith Levin's lawyer, and said, are you going to be booking my client? And they said, yes, we are. Calling them to report a threat of violence and a battery and assault. Then this deranged sociopath who should absolutely not have a gun on his belt for his job, Talman.
This animal, this out of control LAPD officer right here.
Who's got a very interesting father lineage, family tree, now that you mention it. But which eventually induced Tim to join Alcoholics Anonymous. And ding, 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 he suggested to this rookie cop, teaching the rookie the new ways, teaching the new cop the ways of the law. He tells the rookie cop, go handcuff Aaron Smith Levin in the bathroom, on the bench in the bathroom where the other people are going to go in there and use the bathroom, the other inmates and other people being held in here.
LAPD officer right here. He saw that I was being put into a tank and he came in and he told the rookie, he said, no. And I thought he was saying, no, we can't put him in here. We'll get in trouble for that. Let's get him to the detective. He said, no. Bring him over here. Cuff him to the bench in the bathroom. Lock him up in the bathroom. And I was like, and the officer himself, the rookie, didn't hesitate. He took me into the bathroom, which is an open bathroom, by the way. It's like, this is a police station. If you've been, this is where they let the prisoners go to the bathroom. And there's this dirty bench in there, and he wanted to handcuff me to the bench in the bathroom. So Tallman, it stands to reason, knew you're not supposed to use the bathroom as a holding cell. And keep in mind, guys, he was doing that with me. He took me out of a perfectly good, clean, empty holding cell to take me out and have me locked up in the bathroom.
This is LAPD. One of the most recognizable police forces in possibly the world, chaining people who call them for help to a bench in the bathroom where other people in the jail
Don't call the cops,
are going to use the bathroom.
They're not there to protect you.
How much money do they get from the taxpayers every year? That's what I want to know. I think it's probably like $1 billion, something crazy. I'll put it up here.
And so I went in there and I was cuffed to that bench, and another officer came by and said, get him out of there. That's disgusting.
Anyway, it seemed pretty corrupt. And even if there is no connection between the Church of Scientology and the LAPD, that is corrupt enough. If somebody calls you as a police to protect their life after they've been battered and assaulted, you got to do something about it. And they just didn't. So of course that leads me to start looking into, are they connected? Is Scientology connected in some way? Some of y'all told me some stuff like the Church of Scientology is the largest individual donor to the LAPD, period. A few people said that in the chat yesterday. I'll see if I can find substantiating receipts. Otherwise, it's just something I heard. It could not be true.
Okay, so you get the gist of the story there. Called the police to come help them because they were protesters who were attacked, and the LAPD came down, arrested them, and then locked them in the bathroom, lied to their attorney that they were there, and treated them like they were the ones that were the problem. And why is that? Because it turns out the LAPD gets a lot of money from Scientology. And we know this is true. If you've paid attention to what's going on in Clearwater, Florida, with the big Scientology center there, that they just throw money around. They buy everybody up. They buy the cops up. They buy the land up. They buy everything up. And it's total bullshit. I like Aaron Smith. He's done some great work. And yes, Scientology is a cult, 100% a cult. That's just my opinion. This comes from my little town that I grew up in. I saw this and I just had to laugh. This was yesterday. Stolen radar trailer. Our beloved radar trailer decided to take an unscheduled road trip courtesy of a white male in his 30s, cruising in a black 90s Ford short box truck from the 7000 block of Northeast North Shore Road in Belfair. This trailer has been our speed-defiant hero for a solid 10 years, and we want it back in action. Help us. If you spot our on-the-run radar or have any leads, please drop Detective Corporal Sergeant, apparently that's her name, a line at MS Sergeant. Let's reunite the trailer with its true calling and keep our streets safe and sound. It reminded me of that meme that's been going around that says, I don't know who needs to hear this, but there's 5 pounds of copper in one of those things, right? I don't know, but that's so typically Belfair. That is so typically where I grew up. Tell me where you grew up without telling me where you grew up. That's exactly it. Yeah, not shocked. That's just funny, though. I like how they put it out as he's just went on an unscheduled road trip. That's all. That's all it is. Hollywood, go fuck yourself. Let's see what we got in here. Hillary Clinton mourning for 2 privileged white women who didn't get nominated for an Oscar, but absolutely silent on thousands of women who have been murdered in Gaza. Silence about the 2 mothers who died in Gaza every hour. This tells you everything you know about what you need to know about Western feminism. Oh, absolutely. When Tom Hanks went to the wrong island and could only fuck a volleyball. Yeah, I remember that. I do. Should have went to Epstein's Island. It would have been better for you. And I thought this was funny. American actor John Cusack was chosen as the anti-Semite of the week by Stop Anti-Semitism USA for his public expression of his pro-Palestinian views. The actor said in his words, I pity those bastards who think I care about my future projects in Hollywood while committing genocide in Gaza. We reject the lie that the security of our country depends on the destruction of another people. Oh my God. Whoever does not want a ceasefire has no soul. We cannot stop until these attacks stop. Stay silent is the most shameful thing I can imagine. The immortality of the West's position is unparalleled, and words are insignificant to express it. Imagine that October 7th Hamas attack lasted for 115 days. You know, I'm not a huge John Cusack fan, but bravo. I think that's a badge to be wearing, that you are the most anti-Semitic American of the week. So shout out. Even though he's not a big friend of the show, I can tell you. I think he blocked Oz because Oz kept calling his shit out on Assange. Like, you say you're for fucking free speech and you won't, even mention a word about Assange? F off. Kathy Griffin says her comedy tour is not selling well. Pleads with fans, please buy tickets. Please. Of course, that is Anderson Cooper's brother sister. Right? Remember that conspiracy I brought you where they think that Kathy Griffin is Anderson Cooper's long lost brother who transitioned? I don't make these up. I'm just telling you. Oh, look. Can't we all just get along? Yeah. Please clap. Yeah, please clap. Please buy my tickets and please clap for sure. What the world could be, right? Two old dudes just hanging out and making pie together. And me, Mally, we're almost out of here. Let's get through this. Civics was a class that used to be required before you could graduate from high school. And you were taught what was in the U.S. Constitution. Of course, this is Frank Zappa saying this. And after all the students rebelled in the 60s, civics was banished from the student curriculum and was replaced by something called social studies. Here, we live in a country that has fabulous constitution and all these guarantees, a contract between the citizens and the government, and nobody knows what's in it. And so, if you don't know what is your rights, how can you stand up for them? And furthermore, if you don't know what is in the document, how can you care if someone is shredding it? Absolutely. Frank Zappa, he said a lot of crazy, smart stuff. Let's see. Some of you have never rose up, gathered round, rocked this place to the ground, burn it up, went for broke, or watched the night go up in smoke, and it shows. Totally. After I saw that meme yesterday, I was like, oh, I got to go listen to Hysteria. I did. I listened to the whole Def Leppard Hysteria album. Good album. Every damn song on there was good. Gotta say, they don't make music like that anymore. I've seen the future, Marty. 30 years from now, all the people who lived through the great 80s decade will wish that they could travel back in time and live through it all again. I do wish I could go back to the 80s and then I would go to a Def Leppard concert, right? That's what I do. When the date is going so well, but she thinks birds are real. Oh, fuck. I hate when people think birds are real. Don't think the birds are real. Remember, the birds are all CIA drones that are just there to spy on you. All the birds. Yeah, it's a conspiracy. Me waiting for my phone to stop ringing so I can use it again. Who does this? I do this. I'm bad about it. Like, I will wait till somebody's done calling me and then text them and ask them what they wanted. Like, I don't want to talk on the phone. Just send me a text message. And normally it's only the older people in my family that don't understand that, right? Like, I don't do phone calls anymore. You can text me, you can email me, you can DM me, you can Facebook message me. There's a billion different ways to get a hold of me. Just don't call me. Thank you. Them, if we give poor people money, they'll just spend it. Me wondering what else they expect us to do with money. Keep it, save it. Duh. That's what the rich people do. You got to save it and take other people's money. That's how money works. What is this? I wish I had smoother skin. I wish I had a stronger core. I wish more people liked me. It's hard for me to open up. And I wish I wasn't tripping so hard. Yeah. If you see your cheese complaining about its coat, you're probably tripping balls. Maybe cut back on the microdose would be my guess. But I love cheese. So there you are. And me mentally preparing myself to leave the house and deal with all those bungholes out there. I do feel like that every time I got to leave the house. Oh my gosh, there's too many people out there. Me on January 84th. Oh God, yeah, I do. I feel that way. Look at this weather being all springy and cute like it doesn't just try to kill us last week. It is so weird. It is so weird. We were so cold yesterday, and it is like 56 degrees right now and super warm here. Like we went total opposite. And we have this what do you call it? Atmospheric river that's coming at us. I can never say that word. Atmosphere. Why can't I say that? One of those words I'm gonna have to work on. It used to be cinnamon, but I went to speech therapy to be able to say cinnamon, so I can say cinnamon now. Apparently, I need speech therapy for everything else in the world. I don't know. Gardeners, you guys getting your seeds ready? There is quite a few things that we can start getting in the ground now. There really is, depending on where you're at. Gardeners waiting for spring on January 45th. Yes, you made it through November 16th through January 22nd, winter solstice, the 10 darkest weeks of the year. Yay! Give yourself a round of applause. You made it through the 10 darkest weeks of the year. Let's hope that we come out of winter soon. Shouldn't the groundhog be seeing himself here this coming week? Like probably this weekend, right? Yeah, it's always like the first week of January or February that we see the groundhog. So we'll see if the groundhog sees his shadow and goes back in. Groundhog's Day, hilarious movie. Definitely a hilarious movie. Okay, we are almost out of here. Free Assange. Let's get out there, get posts out. February 20th through the 21st is his last fight for freedom on that side of the pond. So let's get those phone calls in. There's the number. You can call the Capitol switchboard and be connected to your senator or House representative and tell them that you support House Res 934. Of course, there's Assange's address if you want to get another letter off to him. I know that we have more Assange boxes coming, so I'll let you know when I get mine what's in it. And yeah, there's the House Res. And those are all the fuckers we need to be calling. Pramila Jayapal, Ilhan Omar. Did you see DeSantis is trying to get Ilhan thrown out? We'll talk about it on Saturday. It's the whole entire Progressive Caucus is right there. Literally, you can screenshot that. You got all the fucking numbers you need to call and tell them do not extradite Assange, free Assange, and that you support House Res 934. And I think that's it for our show. Just a heads up, I'm going to be doing the Misty Winston show on Friday. So join us over at TNTradio.com. I always have a blast hanging out with Misty. Of course, Misty was hanging out last night with Indy. They had Bitch on with Jesse Jett. It was a fun crew. I saw some of you guys hanging out in there when I stopped by. Love what Jesse did. Make sure you go watch the show from Sunday night. If you haven't watched it, Jesse and I hung out. He played for the trailer park, and we had a good time. I think you could tell by the smile on my face, I was happy to have Jesse there. I love these guys, and yeah, I love getting to hang out with them. I don't get enough time to hang out. Like I said with Andrew Smith, I want to hang out with Andrew. I haven't seen Andrew. I haven't talked to him in a long time, so it's always fun. Oz is working his butt off to get our show up and running for Saturday because our studio was literally in pieces last night. Oh, thank you, Kate. Kate dropped the link to the TNT radio. I love listening to TNT radio. Even the commercials are good, right? And there is the card for Saturday night. Join us for Beauty and the Boomer. It will be the last one it will be the last one for a week because I'm going to be in Seattle for the Jimmy Dore show the weekend after. So February 10th, there will be no Beauty and the Boomer, but that's okay. I'll give you guys lots of shows. If you want to help me out with my escapade to go see Jimmy Dore and Steph, there is the travel fund link, or you can hit any of the links in the description down below. I got a billion ways to help me out, and you guys do, so I appreciate that. Of course, you can buy me a coffee is down there too. And it is Wednesday, so you know what that means. Oh, we got to plug Joey's coffee. I just got mine in the mail. I should have brought the bags back here. He sent me Nicaraguan, Costa Rica, and what was the other one? I don't know. I don't remember, but they're all great. They're all equally good. I can't even choose which one's my favorite Joey's coffee. And I haven't had any Joey's coffee in a couple of weeks, so I'm excited. I get some Joey's. You can get Joey's too. Just reach out to Oz. Send us an email to any of our emails and we'll get it figured out for you. Okay, I think we are out of here. Let me see the chats. How's the chats doing? Rumble. Hey, Osama number 5's hanging out over on Rumble along with Ghost Star and Airwaves. It's so weird. You Rumblers don't chat. I thought it was just my shows that people didn't chat on the Rumble. And no, it seems just to be a Rumble thing. So I guess Rumble's for listening. I miss Jilly too. Where's Jilly? Jilly was okay last time I talked to her, but believe me, I always miss when she's in the chat for sure. She has a life. We all have life. Sometimes we have places to go and things to do, and we don't make it to the show. So I'm sure she'll see the replay. But Jilly, our mod Marvin. Let's see, Rokfin. What's up, Rokfin? Rokfin grew kind of slow today. Hey, Zoxo Voxo Vix is over there. Jim's hanging out with Kate and Lynn and Willie V. Good to see you. You guys are chatting away over here. Denver. Hey, Denver Attaway. What's up? Shane, good to see you. I think I got everybody over there. You guys are just chatting away. And let's get the YouTubes and the X and everything else that's dumping into this chat. I didn't know the X actually dumped into this chat, so that's cool. Victory Jen, I see you. I see you watching over on the Twex. So thank you for joining us over there. Mastermind and Kate. Kate's such a sweetheart. Always holding down the fort for us too. Steve Guy is here. Popeye, of course, Popeye. And Vic. Vic's here. Midnight Karma. Old Man Baker is in the house. The Empyrean. I can never. I'm so bad at some of these names. I apologize, but sometimes you guys make them hard. Wesley, good to see you too. I did get your guys' email. Vic, I got your emails. Thank you. Thank you. I got a bunch of emails. I'm so bad at catching up with my messages, so I apologize. Salty's Digital Dive is hanging out along with Jody. Good to see you, Jody. And did I miss anybody? I probably did. Kim, good to see Kim. Good to see all of you. Barbara, good to see Barbara. Barbara, you made it. Okay. I am out of here. The Rumble sucks. The Rumble chat sucks. It's very lacking over there for sure. I don't know why Rumble's that way. I just thought it was my shows, but it's not. I've talked to other content creators that are like, yeah, the Rumble chat just, I don't know. There's only a few people talking in it when there'll be a bunch of people watching. So I guess Rumble's just for listening. I don't know. Let's see. AM Wake Up did a great interview with the founder of Food Not Bombs this morning. If you want to go check that out, always a good conversation with him. And I tried to get Kit's mailing address. I want to send him something funny. Oh, I'll reach out to Kit Popeye and see if I can get you some kind of mailing address. I'm sure he's got a PO box for Hardlands Media. I will see what I can do for you. Okay, guys, I got a great closer for you. Do you guys like the toadies? I love the toadies. I was going a little hardcore this morning. Did you see I was dropping Pantera in the chat? Yeah, little Pantera to get me pumped this morning. Mastermind hour. Okay, let's get out of here. This is Possum Kingdom. Great cover by Craig Flowers Music. Okay, guys, you guys can hit me up on the Discord. The Discord's always there if you want to hit me up and content ideas, me, Mally, whatever. That's the best way to drop stuff for the show. So I am out of here. I will be back Saturday night. I'm going to take a much needed day off. I've taken 2 days off all of January. I have worked all the way through January. So I'm taking the next 24 hours off. I need it. You guys have a great day. Remember, you're always welcome at the trailer park.